Termites as a whole are a fairly primitive group of insects. And many of them have stayed, we think, fairly unchanged over a long period. But in that time, they have been able to diversify into every sort of habitat. There are some that live only underground. You don't see mounds like this. There are some that live up in trees and eat the bark and the woody debris from up in trees, and they barely come to the ground. And then there are these many sorts of these mound builders. Their success has been as a colonial insect. The earliest relationships are with cockroaches. In some ways they're a colonial cockroach. But what has happened now is that you've got a dominant female and male who have offspring that don't reproduce and are the workers, and then there are another group that are the soldiers that protect the workers, and they will all support the colony, which can be thousands or millions of individuals, all of whom come from the individual king and queen, and they can live for decades, which is a very long time for insects. The queen can be a very big insect. With some termites, you get thousands of mounds across a plain, each the product of one of these kings and queens. So my research with termites has almost been incidental in that I've been working on birds, and particularly a small parrot called a golden-shouldered parrot, which only nests inside the termite mound. So it needs the termites, it needs their mounds, so it can build a nest and lay its eggs in this nest. And the termite mound is the protection for that bird's nest. And because it only builds a hole that's just big enough for itself and not for its predators can't get in, and the young parrots inside are protected by the thickness of the termite mound. It was probably a hollow nesting bird, the parrot, like so many parrots in Australia, using natural hollows that have been created by termites. And then there has been selection for individuals who dug their own holes. They've obviously had less predation, and so their offspring have survived better than those that had nested in the trees where the goannas or the other larger birds have got to them. Parrots are relying on the termites, and one of our fears in the place where the parrots live is that there are fewer termite mounds, is that they've been damaged by feral animals and stock, and so fewer of them are growing, and this will eventually mean that there will be fewer places for the parrots to nest because there are fewer termite mounds.